NFTs, I know I've had hinted at doing a video about this for a while. I am not getting in the NFT business. I currently do not own any NFTs, but I had this question. I was trying to understand, like, you're buying something but you don't own it, or you do own it, and I should be like doing copyright lawsuits to people who are utilizing the thing that I just spent, potentially thousands upon thousands, tens of thousands of dollars on. And I could not understand the value in it. So I've watched a bunch of videos. I mean, obviously I have friends that are in it. I have friends that understand it better than I do or did. But after doing enough research, I wanted to give this is the simpleton version of it. Because again, when people say, "Oh, they bought," you see on the news, like the articles, "Oh, the NBA is selling NFTs now," and it's like LeBron James dunking the basketball, and it's like it's a video of him dunking the basketball, and it's like, well, does the NBA still own that? Does he own that? Who owns this? What are you actually owning? So upon doing a lot more research, basically what NFTs come down to is you're owning it on the blockchain. And if you don't know what the blockchain is, it's the technology that runs cryptocurrency and utilizes a mass network of computers to verify the transactions that happen between people. And when it comes to NFTs, it's kind of like buying a piece of artwork. But in this case, according to the articles that I was reading about it, the rights are actually still owned by the original artist. You are only buying it on the blockchain. So if you think about it, kind of like, so the way I think I best could explain it is kind of like buying a stock. So if you were buying cryptocurrency like on Coinbase or something to that effect, and you're like, I really like this picture, I want to own it. You're kind of owning it in the sense that you're buying it as a quote unquote token, or as I would equate it to, like a stock, or an original painting, right? But you don't actually, like, just because you buy that painting doesn't mean that you own the physical painting, but you don't own the rights to make copies of that painting, right? So that's the thing that I personally was getting really hung up on. It's like, why would you spend $10,000, $20,000, $50,000 on a picture of a cat with a dinosaur tail, right? Or a penguin or something like that. And the reason from my understanding, is that it's an opportunity for you to take your money and put it into something that can be valued higher at a later date. Sure, the money will be, the Ethereum, the Bitcoin, the Dogecoin, to the moon. All these things could be worth more, but think about it in this, like if you think about like a stock market, you're basically taking a chunk of your money that will fluctuate, hopefully go to the moon at some point, and you're investing it into one, like a token effectively, or a stock that there is only one of on the blockchain. So you're virtually owning this piece of artwork. Now, is it a good idea to do it? Is it, I mean, you see all the people, you see the headlines, people making, ridiculous amounts of money on NFTs and all that, going back to, I think April, it was enabled on the Ethereum blockchain. I don't know. To me, it's a gamble. I don't think it's a scam. I think that it's just a way to tie, if you already have a bunch of Ethereum, if you already have a bunch of, well, I guess it's only, I think it's only on the Ethereum blockchain. So if you own a bunch of Ethereum, or you own, you have a bunch of money and you want to tie it up in an asset that is literally a PNG file, it could work. It also could go to nothing. Because in the real world here, it's not a physical painting, but in the virtual world, you are effectively buying a painting, which I guess is the explanation for why, you could, in theory, buy a painting for $100 million, and like you're tying up that money, into one asset, and the value, because there's so few of them, it should go up, and that's the idea. But I don't necessarily know. I can't give you a definitive answer if I think that it will actually be a worthwhile investment in the long term. I think if you have a bunch of Ethereum already, like if you're a miner or you've already invested a bunch of your your cash into cryptocurrencies, it might be a way. It might be a way to, like, you've already tied up the money, let's put it into an asset, and then, but there is something else that you should know, is that with NFTs, the original creator is potentially going to get a cut of whatever you sell that NFT for, when you inevitably go to sell, before it goes, the whole thing goes to zero, if it ever goes to zero. But you want to make, so you want to make sure that what the contract reads on that NFT, so that, it's like, oh, cool, I bought this thing for $5,000, or like 1 point something Ethereum, or two Ethereum, and a month from now I go to sell it, and I can sell it for, all of a sudden it's worth 40,000, because there's only one of that particular picture that was on the blockchain. And the contract might read, oh, well, the person that created it is going to get their 20% cut of whatever you sell it for, which I'm all for. I think artists should be paid. I think artists are underpaid, and I think that it kind of bothers me a bit that, like, the way art generally works is like, hey, the art's worth nothing, or virtually nothing, until the artist passes away, and then there's only a limited amount, and it becomes collectible. But then, it's like, why not give some of that money to the family? Like, you sell that painting, or somebody else sells, that had bought it, sells it to someone else. Maybe the family should retain a portion of that money, and I mean, I don't think it should be like 80%, but 40%, 30%, 25%, 15%, 10%. I mean, hell, if you're selling something for, $300 million, like, it, a 10%, like, to the family of the people who that painted it. I think it's important that some of that money go somewhere else than just other rich people who are just buying and selling these paintings for ridiculous amounts of money. So ultimately, NFTs, it's, I don't know if it, to me, I see it almost like gambling. So do it at your own risk, basically. Do it at your own risk.